Hello and welcome to Mastering Microsoft Excel video series. This is video number 24. In this video, we are going to talk about how do you get an automatically sorted data from a dynamic data using a index and match formula. Now, without much ado, let's get into the Excel screen. Let's try to understand the context and then let's see how the index and match formula helps us to create an automatically sorted data. All right, so this is the table we're going to use for this learning. Let's go ahead and find out what is the context here. So the context here is the data table is going to be dynamic. It's not going to be static. What do I mean by that is these values will be kept updating itself. Let's say, for example, it might be a data extracted from a web source or from another database or from another data source using a Power Query or any other tool, or it's manually managed data by your team where the people will keep updating these values as and when the data comes in. But your requirement is you need to get a table, a similar table. Let's copy this from here and I'm trying to put it over here. But this table which I am going to have here, it should always get me this data sorted in descending order based on the amount spent in millions. So let's say if I go ahead and right click and sort this data manually, now right now that is perfectly fine. But what happens if one of my team member comes over here and changes this value to 17.56? Now what I'm expecting here, this data should get sorted based on the value which are changed in this particular table, but that is something not happening here. Correct. So that is the problem if I'm going to manually do it, and we have seen that that's not helping us. So let's say if I'm going to go ahead and use the sort formula, if I have 365 version or 2021 version, then how do I achieve it? In that case is I could use the formula sort. The first input is the array, so I'm going to go ahead and select my table, which is actually my array. I'm going to make it constant by pressing the F4 key so that it becomes absolute reference. The sorting index, the column which I want to sort by is the second column, so that's the column I'm sorting by, comma, and the sorting order I'm expecting in that is descending order. So for the descending order it's -1, comma. Then I go to the last option. Are you sorting by row or are you sorting by column? We are sorting by rows. So I'm going to go for the second choice, which is false. I'm going to close the braces, hit the enter, and that's going to get my sorted table. Now, the sort formula is an array formula and it's a dynamic as well. So if I go ahead and change any of the value here from 8.51 to 23.65, you could see it automatically shifted itself and presenting me the live updated and sorted data in the way I want to see it. But what if the case if I don't have the sort formula in my version, then how do I achieve this? So that is where the role of index and match formula comes into play. But only the index and match can help you? No, because these index and match formula is purely meant for extractions, right? But the extraction criteria is we're going to keep the ranking for these values, and those ranking of the values will become the criteria to the index and match formula. So let me go ahead and create a helper column here, which basically rank these amount spent values in the descending order. So the highest value takes the rank 1 and then the rest of the things as goes on. Yeah. So what formula going to help me in this case to rank these values? I'm going to go ahead and use the formula rank, open bracket. The value which I want to rank is this value, comma, against the reference these values. So I'm going to make it absolute because we're going to copy this formula down, comma. The way I want to rank these values in the descending order. The highest value should take the rank number 1. So I'm going to go for the choice 0, which is for the descending. So when I hit enter, then if I go ahead and drag this formula, you could see that the ranking has been given according to the values what we have inside the cells. Now this is the one, this rank column is the one which is going to help me in getting the automatic sorted table using the index and match formula. So let me show you how this is going to be done here. So let me copy this layout. Okay, watch this. I'm going to copy this layout and I'm going to just paste it over here, and I'm going to delete these values. Delete these values, and we're going to have these helping here 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to have it in 7. So let's go ahead and write the formula. So the first input is equal to index. I'm going to select the entire table, right, including both the columns. Well, I can understand some of you would think that, Hari, we're going to trying to get only the categories based on the rank. Why are we selecting the amount spent? For a very simple reason. I'm going to just copy the formula what I'm going to write for the category even in the amount spent. So I don't want to write a separate formula for the amount spent. That's the reason I'm selecting both the columns. So I want to make it absolute by pressing the F4 comma, and it's asking which row number. So ideally in the selected table it should go to the row number which holds rank number 1. So that's where our hero comes into place. The match formula is going to search for the first rank. So I'm selecting this cell. I'm going to make sure my dollar symbol appears only before the letter C, because I'm going to copy paste it to the next column as well, comma, search this rank number 1 in the rankings column, which is actually our helper column. I want to make it constant, comma, and look for the exact match of it. So 0, close the braces. Now that's for the row in the selected array of the index formula, comma, which column? Ideally the category is in the first column, so I'm going to give the number as 1. Okay, so even if you want to keep it dynamic, you can use the column function there, but right now I'm not going to get it done. I'm going to just have it as 1, hard coded, close the braces, hit the enter, and I'm going to just double click to get my categories populated based on the ranking helping column, and the match is searching for the rank in the ranking column and pulling the respective row value for us. Now similar way I'm going to get it done for the amount spent, which you can copy and paste it, and the only thing we have to change here in this formula, so let's copy this and paste only the formula, and the change we're going to do, instead of the first column in the array, we need the second column of the array. But still I got to check for the rank in the ranking column, and then I have to get it. So that is going to get the values for us. So let's try to understand this formula better. Let me zoom it up for you guys to explain this. Ideally what it is doing right now, it takes this array. The first thing, it has to tell you which row in the array you have to go to. So ideally your match is going to help to tell the index, hey, take this value. Let's go ahead and find out where the 1 is present in this array. So the position of 1 is nothing but the position of the row. You have to go inside this array and get the value present in that row in the specific column which I'm asking. So we selected 2 columns. So when I said 2, in the 2 column, get the second column, but in the category I set the number as 1 because I want the first column, because category is in the first column. So that's how the index and match is helping us to get the automatic sorted data from a table. But remember, it is possible only when you have a helping column, in this case which is the rank column, where we wrote the rank formula to get the rank of the value in the column, looking for in the descending order. And this helping column is ideally driving the entire objective here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try to change the value and check whether this is really working or not. So I'm going to make this 6.72 to 26.72, and I'm going to change one more value to 24.82. so let's check out here. Absolutely beautiful, it's working perfectly. Now Here also I can see my sort formula is also doing that job. So if you got the sort formula, go for the sort formula approach. If you do not have the sort formula, then you can rely on the index and match. If you're quite new to the index and match formula, please watch the earlier video in our channel which talks about the index and match formula, how basically these guys work. Once you understand that, if you watch this video, you will get much more clarity. So in this video, all I'm trying to show you that index and match formula can be used for a different purpose instead of just doing only the extraction work. Yeah. All right, so I hope you got some learning out of this video, and as usual, you will have the downloadable link and the quiz link. Do use them and practice, and then we will meet again with another interesting input on the Excel side. Until then, take care of yourself. Signing off, Hariharan.